up on my feet, yeah. Nashville. Like diamonds pierce the sky, reflecting skies of blue. Remarkable my eyes, connecting me and you. The ground beneath my feet covers my direction, elevating me, lovely suggestion. After all is said and done, and after every song, when I reach the highest peak and my destiny's complete, when I have a lot of fame and many people know my name, give me life, life eternally. Today, I'm so fly. Today, I'm so fly. I'm so fly. I'm so fly. I'm so fly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wake up with the morning sun. Father, do hearts to stood the ground. And even when the evening's done, I still wear my crown. Beautiful paradise to me. Glowing as my fantasies release. I want to adorn the sky. Like a bird so gracefully, I guess the begin. Deep as the ocean blue. This describes my love for you. Blooming like flowers in June. This reflects my life with you. Like sweet melodies from heaven. Lighting up my life with you. And when they see us, they will see love today. I'm so fly. Yeah. I'm fly today. I'm so fly. Yeah. I'm so fly. Yeah. I'm so fly. Yeah. I'm fly. I'm fly. Yeah. Today I'm fly because I'm with the one I love. And I'm fly because you showed me so much love. I'm fly as I'm walking through the streets. I'm fly because I'm with the greatest king. Yeah. I'm so fly. I'm so fly. I've recognized that I am fly. Yeah. I'm so fly. Yeah. Oh, so fly. 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 Da 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 da. I'm so fly. Fly.
Hey, yo, what's poppin', my people? It's your man J-O-N-E-S, Jones, baby, allaboutjones.com. Right now, you're tuned in. Mic check, baby.
Come here, Mr. Nasty.
My name is Cornelius Carroll. For those who don't know me, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I came up in Jackson, Mississippi. At the age of 12 years old, A brother named Red gave me a pistol and told me to go out and commit an armed robbery to prove my loyalty to an organization. I went out and I committed that robbery. I supposed to have killed the man, but changed my mind because I didn't want to kill no one at a time. So I shot beside his head and he lived, and I got the money, so the organization accepted me. They put me on the street as a foot soldier, and I stayed on the street for a foot soldier for about 5 years. After that, I worked my way up. For 16 years, I was in the street hustling, selling dope, prostitution, anything you can make a dollar, I was involved with it. In 1982, I got caught for 6 to 7 counts of armed robbery. When I went to the penitentiary, I got a chance to see so many young kids coming to the prison system. I seen so many older guys selling drugs, gang bangers, they're taking advantage of the young kids. So I did what most people were afraid to do. I stood up in prison. I didn't wait till I got out of prison. I stood up in prison and I started talking and speaking out for young kids, because it's wrong for putting drugs in young kids' hands, it's wrong for putting guns in young men's hands. When I was out there running organizations, I ain't need no kid to go do my job. I went out and took care of my own business. For so many years, I stayed in the prison. They tried everything they possibly can to stop me from talking to young kids, but I got a chance to talk to young kids from kindergarten all the way through college. I got a chance to tell the truth. And I wanted to know the truth for myself. So while I was in prison, I got a chance to use my time value. I started doing some research on myself. I wanted to know who Larry Hoover was, man. I want to know something about David Barksdale. I want to know something about Tookie Williams. I want to know something about Raymond Washington. I want to know something about Jeff Ford. I want to know something about these brothers. I want to know why the Black Panther came out in 1966. I want to know what was going on. So I did in-depth search, man, and I went deep, and I found out who these brothers was. When these organizations first got started, it wasn't about hate. It wasn't about taking advantage of the neighborhood. It was all about taking care of the neighborhood, the old folks and the young kids, encouraging kids to go to school and get an education and be somebody. Drugs came into our life. After drugs came into our life, everything took over. Drug dealers came in and started pimping the gang members. So now what's happening, the drug dealers, they're taking advantage of the gang and use it for their own expense to go explore our neighborhood. But my name is Cornelius Carroll. I'm against that. I feel like if a man really cared about his young brothers, he wouldn't put no guns in his hand. If he really cared about a young brother, he wouldn't put drugs in his hand. If he really cared about a young brother, he'd encourage him to go to school instead of bringing him on the street to sell drugs. If you're gonna be real about this, be real about it. This organization, man, got started way back in the 50s and the 60s. And these brothers had stayed real from day one. So I want you to stay real, brother. Thank you for your time.
My name is James Turner. Today we're going to talk about a new book. Just came out, had the opportunity to be the editor and co-author with the former gang member. This book is called Black Gangs in America. I put my heart and soul into this project. Had the opportunity to find out the real truth about how these black gangs got started, where they got started, where they are now. How did they move from one state to the other? Why did they get started? So I have the opportunity right now of the author of this great book, Black Gangs in America. I have Mr. Cornelius Carroll here, former gang member. Didn't wait till he got out of prison to do his work and research. He stood up in prison. He's gonna talk about the book that he now authors, Black Gangs in America. Mr. Cornelius Carroll.
How you doing, Mr. Turner?
Man, I'm doing wonderful, man. Glad to be here.
Hey, man, it's a great pleasure to be here and to see you again.
Man, look, we got this book, man.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest books. I mean, I put my best work in this book. And when I came up with this book and the idea for it, I was in prison. And I was traveling around talking to young kids, man, in the school system and stuff, and they were asking me a lot of questions. And first I was all about the color, you know,
right.
The red, the black, the blue, you know, trying to mark the gangsters, the vice lord, the Crips and blah, trying to track them, you know, because I wanted to learn more about them, because when I got involved with being a gangster, I didn't know everything I know now.
Right.
I just knew about the gangsters. I didn't know about the vice lord, didn't know about the Crips of the blood, what they believe in, what they want to do. But if I was going to talk to young people, I had to be able to know everything about black games in America. Not just the organization that I was affiliated with at the time. I had to know about everybody. So I met a lot of guys in prison. A lot of them from Chicago, a lot of them from LA. You know, a lot of them had been in gangs and stuff. So I started interviewing guys. And trying to get some information about what was going on in Chicago and how people got in the gang, where the color came from, where the religion part came from. That I learned that certain one of them believe in the Bible, some of them believe in Allah. So to go out and talk to a group of young men and women like this, I had to know about the whole set about black games in America.
Right.
That's why I call them black games in America.
Now explain to the people what qualifies you, Mr. Cornelius Carroll, to write a book like this. See, many books out there. I read the information. What qualifies you to write this book, and what makes this book any different from any other book you've seen out there about these black gangs?
This book is way different. This is information coming from someone that did 17 years. But let me back you up a little bit, Mr. When I was 12 years old, I got in a gang. And I gang banged, I robbed, and I stole, and I sold, and I fought against these young brothers. I fought with them. Till I got 24 years old.
Right.
When I got 24 years old, I ended up going to prison. And I stayed in prison from the time I was 24 to 42 years old.
Right.
I got a chance to cover the whole state of Mississippi. The whole state. Right now, people still looking for a solution. And I already got it. They're looking for something to do. I already done it. I got a chance to go into the school system and work with kids from the kindergarten. I started off playing McGraw, the Crime Stopping Dog McGraw.
Right.
I started playing the Crime Stopping McGraw, telling kids to say no to drugs and gangs in kindergarten. I got a chance to go and interview young men and women all around the state of Mississippi. 82 counties. 82 counties. And it took me 16 years to do it. I help a kid when I don't know the truth. How can I tell a kid to get out of the game if I don't even know what type of problem this kid is involved with? Every state is different. Every school is different. Every community is different. Every home is different. And to be able to do this, you got to know what you're doing.
Right.
I was around gang members for 17 and a half years in prison. 17 and a half years. And I asked questions. I want to know who Larry Hoover was. I met him when I was young, but I didn't know too much about him. Met Barksdale, didn't know too much about him. Heard about Jeff Ford. Heard about Pep, the one that started the Vice Lord.
Right.
And I went to asking people. I started writing professors. I started interviewing the Justice Department information they had. Right. I started running information together to see what was right. When someone told me something about Jeff Ford, what I done, I did some study on Jeff Ford.
Right.
I wanted to know who he was. I read everything about him. And I found out exactly who Jeff Ford was. When I wanted to know who Larry Hoover was, I learned about Larry Hoover. So I put the information together. Instead of wanting to be good at color, game signs, to identify one another,
Right.
to feed it on the wall, I didn't want that. I wanted the history. The history is the most important thing about this book, the history. And any mother, any teacher that dealing with these kids today needs to know that even the kid needs to know the truth instead of somebody telling them a lie.
Right.
So what I done, I put the history together. I went back and found out the Vice Lord. The Vice Lord, 13, 14, 15-year-old kid in St. Charles Reformatory School in Illinois, got together and wanted to start again. And they started the conservative Vice Lord inside the penal system.
Right.
Days for Barksdale. When he decided to come over to Devil Disciple, he was sitting in Cook County Jail. I met the guy who was in the cell with him. Sitting there, mad with Jesus Christ. See, Jesus had disciples. See, and that was on the Christian side. So he decided to come over with the Devil Disciple because he was against the religion part. So he got some disciples in prison. Larry Hoover, 15 years old, on the street, banging at 15 years old. Start the gangsters. So this is what made me do this. And this will make me qualified to be an expert or a gang counselor. I spent 16 years traveling around the state of Mississippi. And I've been on the streets. And I hustled against the guys on the street. I fought against them. And I interviewed guys. I did my homework. Every university, any kind of anything on gang, I took that information and I studied and I cross-referenced with everything that I hated. And then I came up with the truth, what actually happened. That's why I came up with black games in America. Every child in America should read this book. Because this book ain't just talking about me.
Right.
This book talking about what happened. This book got Jesse Jackson in it. This book got Farrakhan in it, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. Three presidents had something to do with these guys. Wow. 3. Even the first lady, Margaret Bush. They gave her $150 million to deal with these organizations. $150 million. Everybody said, well, why? Because she was an educator. She worked at the library and she was a teacher. And she even wanted to do something. President Nixon, back in the 1968, 67, 68, was giving Vice Lord Grant money, man.
Right.
They were getting like millions of dollars, man, to do something for the community, in which they was out doing something for the community, were doing some positive thing for the community.
Right.
And one person, don't take one person to do something wrong, and the whole organization got blamed for it.
Wow.
I did my study, Mr. Turner. When I was in prison, I read almost every university that was dealing with gang, everything they had on these brothers. I got it, but this is what everybody missed, the whole thing about this book.
Right.
Some people just write books about just the gangster.
Right.
Some people write the book just about the Vice Lord. Some of them write about the Crips and the Blood. I wrote a book about all 4 of them. Right. I brought them together and combined them together, and everybody had something to do with these organizations. As a teacher, sat in her classroom, dealing with these young men, how in the world she gonna be able to tell is he a gang member or not?
Right.
If she don't know what to look for. If she hadn't been taught how to teach a gang member, that mean that young man that sat in her class as a gang member, he gonna fail her class because she don't know how to teach him. He gonna come back to the streets. When he come back to the street, gang member got an open arm for him. How can you teach someone when you in fear yourself?
Wow.
How can a kid learn in the school when he's in fear? Living it, Mr. Turner, just to answer your question, living this lifestyle, studying this lifestyle, interviewing, and common sense, Mr. Turner, gave me the will to put this together.
Right.
Because before I let a bunch of young men on the street tell our kids a lie, I had to tell them the truth.
Right.
And some people might disagree with that book about a lot of things that they don't want people to know. 53 to 54 years, gangs been running around in this country.
Right.
People come from Chicago, LA, they come to a small city to try to teach us how to deal with this problem. Well, how can you tell us how to deal with the problem in Nashville and you don't know how to deal with it in Chicago?
Right.
How can you tell us how to deal with this problem in Georgia when you don't even know how to deal with it in LA? So how can you teach us something to do and you haven't done it? But see, take you back to me. I've done it, Mr. Turner.
Yes, sir.
I don't think there's no man alive that had the opportunity that I had to be blessed by God to be in a prison system, to do a study like this, to go to school from kindergarten all the way through college, to talk to young men, to ask questions, and to give them answers. I was able to do that for 16 years. I covered the whole state of Mississippi while I was in prison. God blessed me with that.
Wow.
And that's where I got my knowledge from, Mr.
Right.
I did my study.
Let me ask you this question. People gonna hear you from Jackson, Mississippi, you did your work in Mississippi, and they're gonna be like, are you from the dirty South? You from the South? South don't know anything about gangs. What can you explain to the people? I know some of the leaders, where they're from. Can you explain what makes Mississippi so crucial, and the South so crucial, about how the gangs got started with the leaders?
In Mississippi, most of the people that coming from the South usually go north.
Right.
And that's what happened. When they went north, they end up being in organization. The grandparents end up staying south. The kid went north. When the kids started getting in trouble north, they started sending them back south. Now I joined the games in the 70s now.
Right.
Now listen what you're saying. I joined the game in the 70s. Now what would Mississippi know anything about games during the 70s? And here in Nashville, they just learned 2008 that they had games in Nashville.
Right.
So I'm back there joining the organization in the 70s. In the 70s, Mr. Turner.
Right.
In the 70s. So that means the game was going on in Mississippi before it was going in most of the cities. Mississippi got a tag, they call Mississippi Little Chicago. Jackson, where I come from, called Little Chicago. We got more gang activity going on in Mississippi, probably in Chicago, in LA put together. 95% of our young brothers in prison is a gang member. Wow. 95% of our brothers on the streets is gang member. 95% of our juvenile court system is gang member. Our whole city was about game.
Right.
We had to come together as a whole to educate each and every child and every principal, every teacher, every minister, every senator, congressman. We had to educate everybody to be able to combine. Now, we never did get rid of all the game.
Right.
But we solidated. We've been banging ever since the 70s term. That's why I say to anyone who wants to ask me a question like that,
Right.
you ask yourself, did you know about gangs in the 70s?
Now, who was from these, you know, some of the leaders are from the South.
Most of the leaders, Larry Hoover from Jackson, Mississippi.
Right.
Family still live there.
Right.
Jeff Ford from Lee County, Mississippi. He was over. He's the one started the Peace Stone. He the one sent the brother to L.A.
Right.
with over a letter to start getting some Peace Stone. They decided not to get involved with Peace Stone. They decided to come up with the blue.
Right.
But he from Mississippi too. He was the first United States citizen to be charged with a terror act. And I tell you something now. In Chicago, gang men were so powerful in Chicago, they stopped drugs from even coming to their town till 1988.
Wow.
So Mississippi's a plug-in.
Right.
I done my homework. I banged in the 70s, got out in the 80s, started talking to kids around the whole state of Mississippi. So I am an expert in what I do, Mr. Stern. I don't think no one never covered the whole state before talking about gang, Mr. Stern. Had a radio station, TV station in Mississippi. And the people in Mississippi trusted me because they know my background. That's why Mississippi know what he talking about.
So now, you know, we worked together for almost 10 years, and in that's why I respect you so much, because you didn't wait till you got out. I look at Gangland, I look at the History Channel, I look at American Gangster, and most of these guys, and no disrespect, and I say this in all due respect to the brothers and to everything, but you stood up in prison and walked away from your organization.
In prison.
And what was the reason behind that, to do that, and what's the reason for really, from that, doing this book, and who you wanted to reach?
I walked away, man, because I seen young people. I seen young people being taken advantage of. I recognized the school didn't know how to teach our kids.
Mr. Carroll, I done seen on TV many, and I say this in all respect, and no disrespect to anybody, no organization, no one person. But I look at Gangland, I look at the History Channel, I look at movies, I look at the series American Gangster, and you amazed me. I'm working with you almost 10 years. You amazed me because you decided to walk away from the game and stood up for youth and kids in prison. What made you decide to do that, and then instead of waiting till you got out of prison and work for the kids?
When I was sitting in prison, seeing young men come to prison, how can you not want to be part of that? Seeing the mothers and the fathers trying to deal with their young kid without even knowing they was involved with the game. Seeing the teachers trying to teach our kids and being in fear, I had to stand on Mr. Turner. Because I got a passion. I got a real passion for helping children. And I know everybody out there needs to know about these organizations. And the more you talk about them, the more people become educated. And our public need to know the truth. And I stood up because the love that I have for young people. That's why I stood up.
Some are soul searching in a world with so many people all alone and unforgiving. Some say it's all about the money, detriment of soul. Some they are willing. It's a ghetto, slum of a ghetto. It's just a ghetto.
independent. Selfish or not, she say it's the way it's got to be.